Welcome back to the Immigration Answer Show. My name is Jim Hacking. I'm an immigration lawyer practicing law throughout the United States out of our offices in St. Louis and San Diego, Missouri, and our nation's capital, Washington, D.C. Hope y'all are doing well. I started the show a little bit early today because I have to bust a move afterwards towards the end so that I can take Noor to softball practice, and I will be leaving a little bit before 4 o'clock Central Time to get the show over with. I needed to start a little early. Hope you all are doing well. I'm all dressed up today because I went down. Oh, this is episode 257 of the Immigration Answer Show. Glad you all are here. What's that bottle doing in here? That's my son's little ninja bottle. I went down to the U.S. District Court in St. Louis to get sworn into the Western District of Texas. So I am now admitted in all the federal courts in the state of Texas. So now we can sue for anybody who lives in Texas. I think that puts us up over 30 courts that I'm admitted in or that someone from our firm is admitted in. So we don't need local counsel. Makes life a lot easier, makes the whole lawsuit process go a lot faster. If you're thinking about, oh, look who's here. It's our buddy Yasher. Hello, Yasher. I'm good, Yasher. How you doing, buddy? One of our favorite naturalization clients. Good to see you, brother. Hope all is well. We keep moving on. I've been working on some lawsuit trainings for our lawsuit team. I'm just about done recording those. It basically has all my ideas about lawsuits, and it's going to end up being about 100 pages long. So it's pretty detailed, and I'm excited about that. It's going to allow us to file even more lawsuits. We're heading towards 1,400 here pretty soon. We love working on lawsuits because it helps people get their cases unstuck from USCIS. If you're thinking about joining us, the waiting room is open. I see one of our friends, Zach, is in there. So let me go ahead and start with him. Hi, Zach.
Hi, Jim. How are you?
Great. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. So, my wife had her interview on August 16th.
Yeah.
And they put us in administrative processing.
Mm-hmm.
How long does that process normally take?
Well, it can take up to a year, but with a lawsuit on file, generally it's not going to. So I don't think it'll take years and months. But does she have any indication why they put her in administrative processing?
No, and it was pretty much the normal line of questioning this time.
Mm-hmm.
So we're scratching our heads on it. We have no idea why.
Well, I can ask the team to check with the U.S. attorney. I know that I haven't heard anything in particular on your case, but I wouldn't be too worried about it. It should be pretty soon.
Okay. I'm planning to go back in January, so I was just hoping to be able to bring her back.
Oh, that'd be great.
This time.
Yeah, I would hope so. I would think so.
Okay. Well, that was all.
Buddy.
Thank you.
All right. Good seeing you. All right. Remember, if you're in the waiting room, I need to see your face so that I know that you're actually there. Otherwise, I'm not going to call on you. And I need to make sure that you aren't driving. So if you aren't driving and your face is on, give me a thumbs up and I'll pull you up. All right. Well, looks like Matt's ready to go. Hi, Matt.
How you doing, Counselor? I'm good. I do have two questions. One is I applied for an asylum in 2015.
Yep.
But I was never called. They never called me for any interview.
Okay.
Then
so it's still pending.
Not exactly, because in 2019 I got a green card through a different program, and then my citizenship. So now I'm a U.S. citizen, and then I withdrew the asylum case.
Okay.
I withdrew the case, and in May of this year, because I'm from Liberia, and my wife is still in Liberia, so I had to go to a neighboring country, Sierra Leone, and my wife drove to Sierra Leone from Liberia to see me.
Sure.
So I'm planning a trip again. So my question is, can I just go straight into Liberia since I'm now a U.S. citizen instead of going to Sierra Leone?
So Matt, we actually get this question a lot on this show. A lot of people want me to say that it's no big deal, that they swore under oath that going back to their country was deadly for them. Has anything changed with the government since you applied for asylum?
Yes, the previous government that that I did apply the asylum for has changed to a different government, and it, it was my daughter of what this female genital mutilation. My daughter and I had to leave the country, and she's here, she's in college, and that government has changed to a different government, and I heard that things are improving.
Would you feel safe? I'm not asking you to do this, but would you feel safe to bring your daughter there?
No, no, I'm not bringing her. I'm
I
going
know,
alone.
I know, but I'm asking, would you feel safe bringing her? Is my question.
Oh yes, yes, I will. If she wants to go, I feel safe bringing her.
So it's changed that much that you would feel safe.
It changed that much because her her mother's siblings, and not siblings, her mother's uncle and aunt that was trying to get her into that female genital mutilation, but both of them had died. They're
Oh,
not living anymore.
so you have three arguments going for you. One is you're a U.S. citizen. Two is the government has changed, and three is the two main people that were threatening you and your daughter are
Mhm.
now deceased. So I mean, generally, I don't think it's a good idea to go back, but I think in your situation you could.
Okay. Yeah. So my question is coming back. Would that not be a problem at the airport in JFK?
I don't think so. I mean, I can't guarantee it, but I don't think so.
Okay. All right. So just in case there is a problem at JFK Airport when I'm trying to come back, can I call you if there is a problem?
No, and the reason for that is they hang up. They would hang up on me. They won't let me talk to people. I've actually had that happen before. They would just hang up on me. So if you want to
So
be 100% safe, have your wife drive to Sierra Leone. If you want to take a little bit of a risk, I don't think it's a huge risk, then go ahead and have, buy your ticket for Liberia itself.
okay. All right. Thank you so much. I
Have a
appreciate you.
great day, Matt. Be careful out
You
on the
too.
streets driving for Amazon. See you, bud.
Thank you, man.
All right, bye. Sandeep's next. Hi, Sandeep.
Hi, good afternoon, James.
Hi.
So I've got a couple of questions regarding the Wawa. So I applied for Wawa last year, October 28, 2021, and I got my biometrics done on 22nd of February this year, and the prima facie is valid till 9th of December this year. And
Okay.
I didn't see any updates and nothing about the work permit, nothing at all.
So, what was your status before you applied for VAWA?
I came here on B1 B2 visa, and I was married to. I mean, I'm still married to a U.S. citizen.
And did that U.S. citizen file an I-130 and a 45 for you?
No, before we could do anything, so she started cheating on me, and when I confronted her, she hit me, and I was bleeding. I had to call the police and all. She was also arrested, and we also have a son together.
So walk me through it. When did you arrive in the United States?
I arrived on 25th of November 2019.
And when did you get married?
We got married on 13th of May 2020.
Did you know the person before you entered the United States?
No.
And when was the child born?
19th of this. 13th of December 2021.
Okay, and then when did you file for VAWA?
20 October last year.
Okay, well, I mean, it's taking. So then you filed for VAWA and you filed the I-360,
I-360, I-485, and I-765.
and you got receipt notices, but nothing else.
Yeah, and I had the biometrics done too.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I mean, they take like 3 years to process a VAWA case, especially if you live in a big city. So I think you have a tough case. It doesn't sound like you were married very long.
Yeah.
There was never an I-130 filed. I guess the fact that there's a child that was born, that's helpful. Who's taking care of the child?
Right now I filed for divorce recently, and now the thing is that my family lawyer is saying that to file divorce I have to work, and the thing is that I don't have the work permit and the legal permit to work, so this is where I'm at right now.
So I don't know what state do you live in?
Tampa, Florida.
And they're saying you need to work just because you need to look good in front of the judge, or that it's a legal requirement that in order to get a divorce you have to be.
No, that so that I look good in front of the judge, and regarding the child support thing and as well.
Yeah. So I would listen to your attorney. What's your question for me?
I was thinking how long is the EAD is gonna take, because it's like taking a toll on my mental health too. I mean, I'm not able
Yeah.
to work.
I mean, you can try to make an expedite request, but they're not working on those very fast.
Right. And on the UCS website, I also saw that the waiting time was around 10 months, and it's gonna be almost 12 months this 28th of October.
Well, they probably don't like your case.
Right.
They don't like it. They don't like it when men apply for VAWA. They don't like it when people come to the United States, get married, and then file for VAWA. They think that every VAWA case, especially those filed by men, are fake.
Right.
So I think you've got a lot of hurdles to overcome, not just for your EAD, but for the actual green card.
Right.
How much marital evidence do you have? Do you have a lot?
Do you have one?
Do you have a lot of marital evidence?
I mean, not a lot, but I have some, because
How are you going to prove this was a real marriage and not just for the purposes of immigration? How are you going to prove that?
well, the first time I was here in the US was back in 2014. I came here on M1 visa. I went back in 2015, then came back again on 2016, went back again on 2017.
What does that have to do with whether or not your marriage is valid?
Well, I mean, I entered the marriage in good faith.
How are you going to prove that?
Through the photos.
What
and,
photos?
The photos we have together.
How long did you actually know this person from the date you met till the day you got married?
Around like 5 months.
And what country are you from?
India.
Is the person that you married of Indian descent?
No.
What did you have in common that made you want to get married?
Well, we like to go out. I mean, we enjoyed each other's company. Before she started to get very controlling, then she started to, like when I used to talk to my parents or my friend, she was like, "You always talk on the phone and do nothing." I mean, I don't know what I'm supposed to say to that.
Okay, so I don't care about that. Right now, I want to focus on what evidence do you have that this was a real marriage?
Pretty much I have the photos to prove.
Okay, did you open a joint bank account? Did you rent property together?
She didn't want to open a joint bank account with me because she literally told me that she doesn't want me to have her finances.
That doesn't help. That
Right.
hurts because
We
people
have
that get married who are in love
right,
share bank accounts.
right.
So
I mean, I asked her several times. We need to open a joint bank account. Then we had the lease agreement on. I mean, we both had our names on the lease agreement too.
So here's what USCIS thinks. USCIS thinks there's somebody in India who has a little course or booklet or plan of how to come to the United States and get to stay. Here's the plan. The plan is get a B1, B2 visit visa to the United States, find someone to marry you quickly,
Right.
file an I-130 or not, and then
Mhm.
file for VAWA. Like you are like the 10th person to tell me this story from India. So if I've heard it 10 times, USCIS has heard it 10,000 times. So they are
Correct.
not going to like your case.
Correct. I understand it. Uh, well, I mean, my intention was never to get a green card. So, I mean, if that was my intention, I would have done it way back. I mean, I never want to. I mean, I was ready to go back. I also asked her, okay, fine, if we're gonna get married, will you file a K1 visa for me? Then she said, let's just get married, and then COVID hit. So pretty much, I mean, we were literally stuck in the house too.
I don't know, brother. Sounds like a tough case to me.
Hmm. Well, all right. I mean, I'm still waiting to see what happens.
All right, good luck.
All right. Thank you very much.
Okay, bye. All right, let's say hi to AM. Hi, AM.
Hi, how are you?
I'm
Thank
great.
you. I just want to ask, I have two questions. I got married almost 2 years ago. I like 18 months ago. I applied like 16 months ago, and I haven't received anything yet. Is that the delay? I called, and they said my document is in the National Visa Center. I'm the petitioner. I'm the U.S. Citizen. Is it taking that long?
So you're a U.S. citizen, and who's the beneficiary?
My husband.
And when did you file the I-130 petition with USCIS?
June 9th, 2021.
And when did USCIS approve that petition?
It haven't been approved yet. It says it's being reviewed. It says that's in September. And I called them last week, and they said it's in the National Visa Center because it's supposed to be in Texas, and it's not even in Texas. They say it's somewhere in the National Visa Center.
So I think you're combining two different things. There's the National Visa Center, which is part of the State Department. Then there's the National Benefit Center, which is
probably it's in the national benefit. Yeah, probably I misunderstood. Probably so.
okay.
There's a national benefit. Okay.
So you have an I-1. What country is your husband from?
Ecuador.
And so you filed this in June, and this is October. So you have an I-130 that's been pending at USCIS for 16 months
almost. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And so I'm waiting. I just know how much more I should wait so I could sue them. I also filed a concurrent 485. He got his work permit some months ago already.
So he's in the United States?
Yes, he is. Yeah.
Okay. And what was his immigration status before you filed?
Visitor, and then expired like 2 months before we got married.
Okay. So he's a visa overstay.
Yes.
He came and okay. Did you say he has received his work card?
Yes, he has received it. It took him 10 months to get it.
And where will your interview be? Do you know which field office will have your interview?
Yeah, in New Jersey, Mount Laurel.
Yeah, New Jersey's busy. I would say, I mean, we could sue them now, and they might move things along. I might give them another month or two.
Okay.
Maybe if you hit 18 months, then then go ahead and sue them.
I just want to check with you. And also, it will be okay if I add to the I-130 because I filed the I-130 part. I filed that online. It's okay if I add more proof or just wait until the interview?
Just wait.
Okay. And just one more. Should I
Sure.
request for his son, or that's going to delay his case? I'm sorry.
Hi, AM. I think we had some technical
Yeah.
issues, so give us just 1 second, okay?
Sure. Thank you.
That was weird.
Here's
Thanks,
back.
Willie.
Hi. I'm
Welcome.
sorry.
No,
Thanks.
it was on my end. I don't know what happened.
Okay.
So
So-
where's the son? The son's in the United States or the son's overseas?
No, abroad.
So the question is whether you're a U.S. citizen. I forgot to ask.
Yes, I am.
So
Mhm.
how old is the son?
16.
Yeah, I would file that I-130 tomorrow. There's no reason not to. I would go ahead and get that process
Okay.
started.
Because I'm just afraid because I talked to the son, but I haven't really physically seen him. But I talked to him on the phone on and off.
Yeah, that's okay.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you. That's the
Bye.
only
Have a
thing.
good day.
Oh, I'm sorry. One more. It's asking in the file when I'm gonna file the I-130 for the son. It's asking about a passport, and he doesn't have a passport yet. That matters or no?
Yeah, have him go get a passport and then apply for him.
All right. Thank you very much. Bye bye.
Okay, have a good day.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye. All right, let's say hi to Shim T. Hi, Shim T.
Hi, this is Shamsuddin speaking. Can you hear me?
How are you?
Good. So, just to give you a brief overview of my case, currently I'm still waiting for my 751, which is to remove the condition. I became a conditional permanent resident since 2016. I got married since 2014, and I filed to remove my condition in 2017. But ever since then, I haven't heard back. I think sometimes in February when they sent the first RFE, I missed it. I think it's probably because of USCIS discretion for me changing my address. But I resorted that by calling and they made amendments that they sent me the RFE, which I submitted back. On the RFE,
what did they ask for in the RFE?
The RFE was requested in 2019, and I responded to it in 2019 as well too.
What did they want though?
So on the RFE, it was stated that I didn't provide enough evidence to show that my marriage was a bona fide marriage, which was entered in good faith. So they asked for my tax information because when I filed my taxes, it was married filing separately. But when they requested that I submitted the right one, because when I first filed my 751 and my green card all through the journey, I never used an attorney. I was just following what's on the USCIS website, as well as what the information says about how you can properly adjust your status. So after doing that, I didn't have any problem filing my adjustment of status, getting to the point of the 751. So on the RFE, I responded back by putting evidence of marriage, which was joint bank accounts, joint insurance certificate, which is for medical insurance. Then I put letter from good friends that know us, as well as the tax that we refiled, which was the joint tax for the duration of our marriage when we were together. That was what I submitted for the RFE in 2019. But unfortunately, fortunately for me, I spoke to an attorney when I was waiting for too long, and he advised that, okay, since I've been waiting and I've been a lawful permanent resident for more than 5 years, we should go ahead and file the N400, which I did in 2021, which was last year. I filed for my N400 last year, March 2021. But since then, I didn't hear nothing back from USCIS, thinking it was going to trigger my 751, and everything has been quiet. In fact, I've been in twice to get a stamp on my passport saying, hey, this person still has his case pending. So recently, I was there a couple of weeks ago to the USCIS office when I made inquiries and I made a info pass to see what's going on with my case. And the officer I met there, she looked at my file and she was like, currently she doesn't see anything wrong with my file, or there's no note or flag or anything that says I need more information, that I should just wait. But I asked her, I said, okay, this is going on. Let's look at for my N400. It's out of my 751 is way past the processing time. My N400 is even past the processing time if everything goes through the happy path. So she said, okay, I should be expecting an interview for me to bring your spouse. You'll be expecting an interview, so you're required to bring your spouse. I said, okay. But the caveat now, which is the bad news now, is that I'm divorced. The divorce waiver came through this year in March, and my 751 is still pending. I'm kind of in a limbo. My lawyer advised not to send anything to USCIS to say, okay, let's withdraw the 751 petition based on the joint filing because I was still legally married to my spouse, that we should convert it to a waiver. He said, since it's just divorce and I'm way past the processing time, he advised me to wait. But I wanted another opinion because I've been doing research and everything points towards that when you removing condition, you're either removing it based that it's a joint petition with your spouse, or you're filing that waiver based on that divorce. And I don't want anything affecting my N400 because I'm even thinking about withdrawing the N400 completely as well too.
So when how did you come to the United States?
On a B1, B2 visa.
What country are you from?
Nigeria.
And were you married back home in Nigeria?
No.
How did you get the visit visa to come to the United States?
First of all, it was I came just for, it was a food show, and I came in, left again, then came back again. So it's like I've been in and out even before I adjusted my status.
But when you went to go get your visit visa at the embassy in Nigeria, what did you tell them was the purpose of your trip?
The purpose of my trip was because I came for a food show. It was like a conference food show, so I came to showcase my own stuff as well too.
Okay, and did you fill out the DS-160 yourself, or did you hire a company to fill out the DS-160?
What's a DS-160, if I may ask, please?
That's okay. That's the online form that you fill out to get the B1, B2 visit visa to the United States.
I filled it out myself.
And you're 100% confident that you did not put on that form that you were married?
No, I've always been single.
Okay. All right. And then, okay. So now what we have now is a 751 jointly filed that's been pending for like 5 years.
Yes.
And we don't have a decision on it.
Yes.
And we've gotten divorced. The divorce is final?
Yes, it got final this year.
So the question is, do I submit the notice of the divorce to USCIS and notify them that I'm divorced and ask for the waiver? One question I would have is, do you feel like you have or submitted a lot of evidence in support of the marriage for the 751?
Yes, I feel I've submitted a lot of evidence in support of the 751. The only thing, because I try to search like where did I go wrong, maybe there's anything missing. The only thing I can see, which is a red flag for me, is just because the nature of my job, I'm a software engineer. I'm required to travel a lot around the States. So I'm usually traveling for work, which is because the last time I went to the USIS, the officer asked me, do I still work with a company which I was working for that makes me travel? I say, yes, I still work with the same company, but I didn't change my address because I maintain my address in Maryland because it's always a temporary thing. I could go for 2 weeks, 2 months and still come back to my state of residence. But aside that, I don't think I see anything which I haven't submitted enough evidence for.
Where will you have your interview? What's your field office that you visited the other day?
Baltimore.
Okay. And then here's the $1 million question. Are you ready?
Yeah, go on.
If USCIS came and knocked on your ex's door tomorrow and said, what do we need to know about your spouse? Was this a real marriage for love, or was this done to get him a green card? What would they say?
Well, I think she would say it was for love because it wasn't really, I don't know. I mean, it depends on the spouse. We didn't really live on any bad note, but it's just that we grew apart and, we wasn't just feeling it no more.
Well, was it a nasty divorce or a nice divorce?
Well, it was a nice divorce. I just, first of all, she didn't even want to see me anymore because she was just like, take care of whatever you want to take care. File the divorce, I'll sign and we can just get on with it. She doesn't want to be with me.
So if we were to ask her before USCIS came to knock on our door, if we were to draft an affidavit that basically says that you're a good guy, that it was a real marriage, that you guys were in love, and that you just grew apart, and that she supports your request to get a 751 approved, would she sign that, you think?
I don't think so.
You don't?
No,
Why?
I don't. Before we divorced, we try to like patch things up and everything. I mean, we've had arguments not working, and we've been trying to like it's a marriage that it's on strings and stuff like that for an
But
immigrant when you come in.
does she want you to get kicked out of the United States?
I don't think she would say she wants me kicked out, but if she has to stick her neck out for me, I'm not sure she will stick her neck out for me.
I don't
She's
know.
just going.
It'd be like a 10-minute call with an attorney saying, is this stuff true? Is this a real marriage? And would you really I mean, she already signed the 751 where she swore that it was real, right?
Yes.
So, I mean, you think that if we asked her, she would say no?
She won't. I think she will say no. Let me put it that way. Let's just
Okay. Well, I agree. I think I agree with your attorney that it's hard for me to give up the 5 years that you've been waiting and to start over. Now, generally, our office likes to, especially when the divorce is final, abandon the old 751 and file a new 751 solo, which is just you, right? Which would be submitting the same evidence. But in this particular case, I think what I would do is I would send a letter to USCIS with a copy of the divorce decree saying this thing's been pending for 7 years. It was a good faith marriage. And if you don't issue a final decision on this 751 in the next 30 days, we're going to sue you in federal court in Maryland and force you to make a decision. Now, to me, I think the first thing they're going to do is come knock on your ex's door, which is why I think it's really important to take a shot at asking her to sign that affidavit. Because there's going to be 2 agents with badges that are going to say, hey, this guy says it's real. He showed us the divorce. We don't know. Is it real or not? If you just tell us the truth, we're not going to prosecute you. But, we think this marriage is phony. We know how Nigerian men are. We know that they enter into a lot of these shady marriages. And, you can come clean to us now. And that way, we won't have to throw you in jail or something. That's why I want you to get the affidavit ahead of time, because then we could show that it's them trying to scare the shit out of her after she already swore under oath that it was a real marriage. That's why I think it's so important to get to her first.
Okay. That makes, this, I totally like your advice. And it's best advice I've heard, because it's a very gray area. I don't want to go against my lawyer. And at the same time, I just wanted a second opinion, because I believe that it was just being lazy about me going to the queue again and waiting for a long time. Which at the end of the day,
I don't think that's laziness. I think that's not wanting you to lose your place in line. But at the same time, you are divorced. So what you really don't want to happen right now, I know this sounds funny. What you really don't want to happen right now is for them to approve the 751 without you telling them about the divorce, because then it looks like you were sneaky. So you need to notify them of that divorce pretty darn soon.
Yes. Okay. So that way it doesn't affect my N400, right? Because if I read about it. If you get your 751 approved and you have divorced before the approval, then it becomes a problem for the N400, if I'm correct.
Right. Yep.
Okay.
All right, buddy. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
All right. Have a good day.
You-
All right. Let's say hi to I almost said hi to Hooli. Hi, Hooli. Let's say hi to Dr. P. Hi, Dr. P.
Hi, how are you, Mr. Hawkins?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm good. I've been following your show for a while, and it's a YouTube channel. I'm sorry, is the place noisy? Can you hear me?
It's a little bit noisy, but I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, sorry. So I got together with my partner. I've met her since last year, and we got married this year. She's a green card holder. I have an attorney, and He advised. He didn't tell me anything about my status, my visa status, and we applied for the I-130 petition, and it's processing right now. And we I got the notice yesterday on our USCIS account that the processing time is like 3 months. It's a new thing that showed up on our USCIS account yesterday. But I found out that I cannot adjust my status if the USCIS status is if the I-130 is approved. I cannot adjust my status because I am out of status, and I didn't know that, and if I knew I was just out of status few months ago, 2 months ago, I would have immediately extended, and I actually went to switch to a student program. I'm actually a medical doctor from my country, and I was actually studying. I'm studying for the licensing exam over here. I finished with the first one. I'm almost done with the second one. So I would have I would have done that. But when I spoke to my attorney, he told me that he doesn't want me, that I'm not in a gray area. I'm not in a gray area. That everything for my own thing is fine. That I shouldn't worry about that. So he said the reason why he's saying so is because for an LPR or a green card holder, it's going to take a very, very long while for it to get approved. And my partner, next year will be approved.
Dang it. What's going on?
Sorry, can you hear me?
Yep.
Sorry about that. I think I got a little bit disconnected on the internet. Yeah, so, and he said that next year she's due to apply for citizenship next year. And because she's reached her 5-year mark by April, 90 days before April. So he told me he doesn't want me to worry about that. So I want to know, should I be concerned?
So let's do a little timeline. What's the last time you entered the United States?
I ent in February.
Of 2022?
Yes.
And when did you get married?
Um, Actually, in July, early July.
Of 2022?
Yes.
And when you entered in February, you were on a B1, B2,
Yes.
and you had 6 months.
Yeah, I had 6 months.
So when did you file for? So did you file the I-130 and the 45 together?
No, only
Just
the
the
I-130.
Just the
Yes.
I-130.
He
Okay.
told me to only file the I-130, and I shouldn't file the I-45.
And do you know whether I haven't checked the visa bulletin. Do you know whether the visa bulletin was current at the time that you
Yes.
it
Yes, it's
was?
current. Yeah, I checked it. I checked October. Right now, this is current. My priority date is August 29th, 2022, and I'm under the all chargeable areas listed, so it's current. C.
So you entered in February. Your receipt
Sorry,
date is
no. Sorry about that. No, I entered January 14th. January 14th, sorry.
January 14th. So
Yeah.
that means you had until July 14th.
Yes.
So you didn't file within the 6 months of arrival.
No, I didn't file within the 6 months of arrival. I actually filed in August.
Okay, so I don't like your case. I don't like your case because I don't like that you filed after the 6 months and that you're married to a green card holder. So is what he's thinking that he files the I-130, he lets that get approved, and then once your spouse becomes a U.S. citizen, then file for your green card?
Yeah, that's what he's thinking.
And you're just going to hang out here out of status until then?
That's what I do not, that's why I'm really concerned.
Did he not explain that to you when you filed? I don't know what's up with that thing. I think he's on some bad Wi-Fi.
Hello?
All right, brother. We're gonna have to keep this short just
Sorry,
because you keep shorting out.
sorry
So
about that.
so his idea is to file the 45 once your spouse becomes a citizen, and you're gonna hang out here undocumented or overstay ever since.
No, his idea is that is his long term idea, but his idea is still he said when I wanted to get approved, he's still going to file the 485 and 765 documents, while it's still pending and it might take a very very long while. And then he said, when she becomes a citizen, that they will put the case on forward all the way to the top of the bar.
But he didn't explain this to you at the beginning.
No, he told me that yes, she's gonna be a citizen and so, but he never told me about anything concerning my status, out of status. He didn't tell me about that.
I would say, Dr. P, that if you want to send me a copy of your paperwork, I'd like to look it over because I'm a little worried about you.
Okay.
All right.
No, yes, no problem.
All right. Thanks, doctor.
Thank you.
Okay, bye. Hey, everybody. While you have a minute, if you could go to reviewhackinglaw.com and leave us a little 5-star review, it'd be a big help. I see a lot of people waiting in the waiting room. If they could each do that, we'd have 10 new reviews at the end of this show, and I'd be super happy. So if you have a minute and could do that for us, we would really appreciate it. Let's say hi to Syed Arif. Hi, Syed Arif.
Hi. Give me just one moment.
Going on a little walk.
Yeah, sorry about that. I was in my office,
good.
so I
That's
just wanted to get out of there. So I filed. First of all, thank you so much for taking the
Sure.
time to talk to me.
Sure.
I filed my I-485 back in April, but I made a mistake and I did not file the affidavit of support for my wife as her income was not sufficient. So I just submitted the joint affidavit of support.
Yeah.
So now I got an RFE saying that I need an affidavit of support from the petitioning sponsor.
i.e. your spouse.
So yeah, so I'm assuming it's about my spouse.
Mm-hmm.
So if I just turn in the affidavit of support for my spouse, do I need to redo the joint sponsor paperwork as well, or?
Maybe I'd need to look. I mean, it's hard to say. I don't know if you did that part right. Has your spouse filed taxes the last 3 years?
Yeah. I mean, no.
Okay.
She just filed taxes last year, and she did not have income.
So
that's over.
You have a bit of a problem. You have a bit of a problem. You're going to need to submit 3 years of tax returns and tax transcripts in support of this. Your case is now under scrutiny because you didn't do it right at the first time. And I think there's a chance that you're going to get denied and have to start over because I don't know if you have enough time to file tax returns for the 2 years that she didn't file and get the affidavit of support on file.
So she did not have, so she's 18 now, so she did not have much income back then. So that's why she didn't file.
It doesn't matter. They're stupid and they look at the box and they say, did Syed's wife submit tax returns? They don't care if she's 70 or 17. They just look at the requirements the same. So I think you really need to hurry, get tax returns filed for her for the other 2 years, show that she has no income, and then resubmit it in answer to the RFE.
Okay. I have until December 21st to respond. So I think I might have to pull those up before that. I think she even if she might have did the taxes, but that would be with her parents. So in that case, do I need to get the parents tax return as well?
I don't know. If they declared her on their taxes, then maybe. But that's a tough question. I think you could try it with theirs. But I think the better thing would be if she had her own tax returns, but I don't know if you can do that now retroactively. They'd have to redo their taxes, which would be a hassle for them. So I don't know. Okay.
Because at that time, I believe that she was a dependent on the parents' tax return.
Right. So maybe you could go with those tax returns and see what happens.
Okay, but then, so basically you were suggesting to do the tax return for last year, get that, and get the parents' tax return with that,
I'm
right?
not saying that's best. What I'm saying is best is if she could have her own tax returns. But like I said, they would have to undo their tax returns to take her off them, and then she would have to file her own tax returns. This is really a question for an accountant more than an immigration lawyer, because I don't know the answer to these questions.
Okay, and I have another question. So right now I'm on OPT, and my OPT work permit ends on February 9th of next year.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't get a work permit from USCIS for I-485 before that, will that cause any problem as far as my employment goes?
Yeah, you wouldn't have the ability to work unless can you get a STEM extension or no?
No, I can get a STEM extension.
Yeah, so you need to get this all taken care of so that you don't miss out. They're holding you back your EAD, right? You haven't gotten the marriage-based EAD?
No, I have not gotten the marriage-based EAD yet, but they put the I-485 on hold, but the marriage-based
Yeah, that's on hold
I-7,
too. So that's on hold too.
oh,
That's
both
a
of them are on hold?
That's a present from Mr. Trump. In the old days, they would just process the EAD, but now if they hold up your 485, they also hold up your EAD.
I see. Okay. And in case if it doesn't get sorted, if I don't get the EAD card soon enough, do you think it will be wise to do a congressional inquiry at the end of December?
I think that'll do nothing. And I don't think
Okay.
USCIS is going to be any rush to help you because you didn't file right. So it's not their delay that's causing you not to have your EAD. It's your mistake.
Okay.
So I don't think expedite requests or congressional inquiries or CIS ombudsman, I don't think any of that stuff's going to work because they're going to say it's your fault, not theirs.
Okay. So how about this? So she has a tax return for last year. Do you think when I upload these documents, maybe I can write a letter explaining why she does not have the last 2 years of tax return?
Okay, you could try that. That's not what I would do. The best thing to do would be get separate tax returns for her for the last 3 years. The next best thing would be to just submit last year's tax return and her parents for the prior 2 years. Sending a letter is way down at the bottom of the list of things that are effective.
Okay. And for my joint sponsor, I just submitted 1 year of tax return. Do you
So
think that will
again,
be
you
enough?
need 3 years of tax returns and you need 3 years of accompanying income statement like W-2s or however they obtained their income.
Yeah, he is retired, so he just have, I guess, the tax returns. So
I don't understand.
So he doesn't have an income statement. He is retired, so I don't know if he I don't know if how that works. Will he
So
have a
in order for someone to be a qualified sponsor, they have to have 3 years of income and they have to have 3 years of documentation of where that money came from. Whether retired or not, I don't know. But if he just has money laying around, that's not going to cut it for an affidavit of support. They want to see income for each of the last 3 years.
Okay. Okay, all right. I think that answers my question. Thank you so much.
All right, so that's a perfect example of somebody doing it on their own and completely screwing it up. This whole case is on hold. He's going to miss out on his EAD. And instead of listening to what I said, or instead of hiring an attorney at the beginning, he's putting his whole future at risk at this job he has because he's screwing around with probably unqualified co-sponsors and because he's not filing the paperwork that he needed to at the beginning. It's really sort of sad, but what can you do? All right, let's say hi to Gopal. Hi, Gopal.
Hi, Jim.
How are you?
I'm fine. What about you?
Great.
Thank you. Jim, I had applied for an L1 visa from India. There was an RFE. We replied to the RFE. I got annoyed. In the NOID, it is mentioned that that upon initial filing, you provided the following evidence in regard to the issue. Pay records, letter from the foreign entity and chartered accountant letter. But during the 3 years prior to the filing this petition, you were in US for 832 days. It also appears that once the days spent in the United States have been subtracted from the time the beneficiary has been employed abroad within the 3 years prior to filing the petition, the beneficiary doesn't have 1 full year of employment abroad. As such, the beneficiary would need to accrue additional days of qualifying employment abroad in order to meet the 1 year foreign employment requirement.
Okay.
Right. Now, my question is, I am with the company and I am a major shareholder from 2005. In 2020, I got stuck here. I had come here and then this COVID started and I went at the end of the year. Then again, I came after a month because my payments were stuck with one of the buyer and he was not picking up the goods. So I came back in January 21. So already 1 year I was there, 1 month back in India. And I came here and again in India, it started the COVID. So I got stuck here. So I am just to accrue more days. So do they consider those 3 years and 1 year out of that, or on a span of because I'm with the company from 2005, will they consider that also?
It sounds like they don't have any intention to consider that.
Okay.
Sounds like you might need to refile.
Okay. Because I have all the tax return from 2005, everything I have. Everything is on record. I am a shareholder, major shareholder.
Yeah, but I don't think that's the question of whether or not you're a shareholder. The question is whether you were where you were located during the requisite time.
Is there any such case or any something where we can?
I've seen RFEs like that, and I mean, if you have enough time right now, then I would probably just withdraw that case and start over.
So wait for another 6 months or 8 months. That's what you're saying.
Wait till you have enough time where you're supposed to be, and then refile. Yeah.
So it's around 8 or 9 months. My company has already started here. We already started exporting from India.
Yep.
So that's a challenge.
I mean, I don't know. I'd want to look everything over. It's hard for me to tell you to go live somewhere else based on a phone call over YouTube. But
okay.
I've seen RFEs like that before, and it sounds to me like that's what needs to happen.
Okay, but there's no way out, right?
No.
Okay. Okay. That was the only.
Bye, Gopal. Good luck, buddy.
Thank you.
Oh,
thank you. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you.
Bye, buddy. All right, let's see what Valdo has to say. Hi, Valdo.
Yes, hi, Jim.
How are you?
I'm well. I have a question. I have my friend who is in DRC. He applied for, he was selected for DV lottery. And through the agency, and the agency sent his documentation to the, thank you. The agency sent his documentation to Kentucky Center, and he's waiting for the interview, but he don't have access to his case. Who the information he got through the agency. He would like to know how by himself he could get in touch with the Kentucky consular. And also the case was recorded with the email from the agency.
What happened to the agency?
He told me that once when he asked to the agency about the interview, and the agency said that they're still waiting for the interview, but they want to make sure that they're going to give him the information about the interview. Because at another time when he asked, the agency said that, we're still waiting, we didn't send your documentation yet, and we're still waiting. But when he provided me his confirmation number, I checked on the status checks. I saw that the agency sent his documentation, and the hard things we have, it is we don't have the email with which the agency record his information.
So basically, you're saying your friend doesn't trust the agency anymore. Is that right?
he trusts, but he want also to get
Verify.
verify. Yes, sir.
Okay, so what is he? Are you talking about for this coming up year? He got selected like last May.
Yes, he got selected by last May, and maybe starting this October, he should get. Starting this October,
Maybe.
he should get the.
So does he have some paperwork with like his case number on it and stuff?
He has his case number, but he don't have the email with which. Yes.
So here's what I would say: tell him to scan in what he has.
Yes.
And email it to me, and I'll look at it, and then I'll try to help him figure out if it's time to submit his paperwork, see how he can contact the KCC, and I would just cut that agency out of it altogether. Not that I need to take it over, but he probably doesn't need the agency. He's probably smarter than the agency.
But he's in a DRC. He's not
I
in
know.
the United States.
No, I know. Yeah.
All right. And what is the best way to send the documentation to you?
info@hackingimmigrationlaw.com. info@hackingimmigrationlaw.com. Julio put it in the comments for me.
All right.
Info. Thanks, Waldo. Have a good day.
Thank you so much, Jan.
Okay, bye, buddy. All right. I probably have time for one more. There we go. All right. Bye, Valdo. See you, bud. All right. Let's say hi to Shakja Khan.
Hello, Jim. Can
Hi.
you hear me?
Yeah. How are you?
Great. How about you?
Great. What can I help you with?
So I have a really sophisticated case. So in 2008, my parents won the green card. So we lived in the US for a while. But in 2013, we returned to our home country, to Uzbekistan.
Yep.
And my grandma was suffering with cancer. So my father had to financially and mentally support her. After that, we couldn't rearrange our return to the US. And being with that, in summer of this year, of 22, I applied to the F1 visa and unfortunately got rejected with the 214B. And we are thinking that the main reason of the rejection is my LPR status left from the green card.
Sure.
So now I'm applying to the spring semester for 23. And can you give me advice on what should I need to do?
Have you surrendered the actual green cards? Have you notified them that you don't plan to reside on it? You don't plan to take advantage of that green card anymore?
No, I haven't.
Well, I think that until you do that, they're not going to take your F1 seriously, and they're going to keep dinging you for 214.
Okay.
You understand what you've demonstrated immigrant intent by coming to the United States and living as a lawful permanent resident. Now applying for an F1, that's inconsistent with that. Do you understand?
Yeah. I've researched and found out like two ways. So the first one is applying for the reentry permit. And the second is completing the I-407 by abandoning my LPR.
That's what I think you have to do. I don't think a reentry permit is going to work. Number one, I don't think they're going to give it to you. And two, you have to be in the United States to apply for it. So and do your biometrics. So I don't think that's going to fly.
Okay. And so here the only solution is to submit the I-407, right?
The only possible solution. I'm not even saying that it's going to work.
So wait, do you mean that they can leave this status? Or
I'm saying it's more likely than not that even if you abandon your green card and fill out the 407, that they're still not going to let you come on an F1. That's what I'm saying.
But the case is also that here in my home country, I've won a governmental scholarship that will be covering all my fees and stuff, with an agreement that I'll come back to my home country after my studies. Okay. And this is also written on the financial letter that is submitted to the embassy before applying to the interview.
Right, but none of that has anything to do with whether or not they believe you're going to come back to Uzbekistan or that you don't plan to stay in the United States. Those are two different things. It might help a little bit, but it didn't help with the first F1. So I don't know. They don't have to give you an F1. That they have a discretion whether or not to give you an F1. So I think that I wouldn't count on being able to come to the United States this way. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Okay, give me a second.
Actually, I'm gonna go. I gotta go. That's the end of the show. Okay.
Okay.
All right, buddy. Good luck. All right, everybody. That'll do it. That reminds me, the Diversity Visa Lottery is right around the corner. If you're not from one of the top 30 most popular countries, people that have gotten visas from in the last couple of years, you can apply, I think, starting tomorrow for the Diversity Visa. So think about that, and you can apply for that if you're in the United States or if you're outside the United States. Always good. Go to the State Department's website. Don't pay some outside company to do it for you. You can do it all on your own. You don't need a lawyer. And I will talk more about that during our next call, which is tomorrow at 4 p.m. Central. Tomorrow, 4 p.m. Central. That'll be the last show of the week tomorrow. We'll see you then. Hooli, thanks for your help. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye, everybody.